Be in theory live.
Right now?
Yes, right now.
Oh,
it takes
damn.
seconds. I've got good internet.
Wait, on Balsamic Games?
It should be live on Balsamic Games.
Yes.
Nice. So.
Watch it.
Oh, fuck. It's hitting.
Why is it
God
giving me a
fucking damn it.
commercial?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
there we
also
go.
getting a commercial.
Yeah, no, because the stream's starting.
So because the stream is starting, that's why we're watching a commercial.
I don't know.
Exactly. I had to mute my thing.
Yeah, I gotta mute this too. Too many voices.
Okay, how do I
But
mute the commercial?
okay.
There we go.
Once the commercial's done, I think people actually be. Yes, hello, there's us.
Yay!
Woo!
We made it!
Hi, and welcome to Children of Midnight.
Children of
Itty
Midnight.
bitty committee. Itty bitty
Itty
kitty
bitty
committee.
Yes.
Itty bitty kitty committee. Episode 1. We're so glad to have everyone here. And I think this is your first time, if you're watching this, meeting all of us. So let's go around and introduce ourselves. Who wants to go first?
Rock,
Or
paper,
actually,
I
let
can
me
go
do it.
first.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. We got volunteers.
Let's go
Name,
clockwise.
pronouns. Clockwise, okay.
Huh?
So clockwise in the stream starts with comp.
Okay.
Then Comp can go.
Hello, I'm Comp, short for comprehensible. I use he, him pronouns. My favorite ice cream flavor is chocolate, and I can eat a cupcake in 5 seconds without using my hands.
That is a very impressive statistic.
That is very
I
Thank
did not
you.
know that about you. That's good to know.
Who's next?
Clockwise, it should be
I think
8
that would be Claudia.
o'clock.
I don't know.
Clock goes
What's a
to
clock?
Claudia.
Oh,
Your turn.
I was looking at the stream, but okay. From Discord, yes, it's me. My name's Claudia. She, her pronouns. I'll be playing Jane Doe. A little bit about me is I like cats. I have a bachelor's in psychology. That's it.
Nice. I believe you are up next, Rowan.
All right. I'm Rowan from Rowan Reports. This is the part that pays the bills. Check out my Twitch stream and my YouTube channel. I Twitch, I do YouTube, I tutor children because I have my master's in elementary education, and I'm highly overeducated. So that's what you need to know about me.
I'm Ace. My name is Ace. I use they them and fair pronouns. I do a lot of art. And I have not introduced myself to a group in years.
God, that's a long time.
I think it's been
But
years. Not like this, at least.
is everyone ready to jump into our game of Children of Midnight?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Totally.
All right.
100%.
So, our camera starts
Quick question.
looking over. Oh, shit, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Go for it.
We've introduced who we are. Should we introduce who our characters are?
Later.
Excellent.
Give me a second.
Sure, yeah. Do the intro bit. We're good.
Thanks, Ace. Okay. Our camera starts on the outside of Manhattan, the outskirts. Actually over the water. It's sort of a gray day. I believe it's sort of mid-fall. About right after the first snowfall. But the snow never stuck. And our camera pans in, and we see a glittering mass of skyscrapers reaching towards the stars. We see the trees that grow off of them. We see wind turbines strung between them to catch the energy that pervades through the air and the water. And our camera pans up to look at these skyscrapers, where the rich and famous and powerful live, sometimes never setting their feet on the lowly ground. But then our camera moves on, because this story isn't about them. Instead, we move through the streets. We see a bound witch, a storm witch, doing fire tricks for a group of amazed children. We go into the subway where we see shop hub workers lined up, ready to go home after a long day of work. And then finally, we come to the foot of a sort of rundown apartment building. And at the base of this is a game store. It's called the Goblins Den. And as we look inside, it is filled with all sorts of nerdy shit. It's great. There is a place in the back where there's sort of a set of miniatures of all shapes and sizes, like little skyscrapers reaching towards the ceiling, dragons. You see, tonight's actually card game night. So we see a very heated battle in the front between two teenagers, a group of people around them cheering the others on very quietly. You don't cheer for card games that much, but we see the proprietor sitting at the front desk with their drawing tablet. I think right now it says, "Hi, my name is Jerry," their name tag says. But that changes. And then we go into the back room, which is where we care about, where we see three witches in the middle of a ritual. Okay. Could someone who wants to introduce themselves first?
Oh, okay, I'll go first. um,
Tell us your witch's name, your pronouns, a little bit of what they look like, and maybe what part they're playing in this ritual. Like, are they drawing? Are they inserting magical energy? What's the deal?
okay, my character's name is Jane Doe. She's a satyr. So she's got like long, like polished black horns, big floppy doe ears, white freckles, and like tannish skin. Um, she's pretty short, and currently, uh, oh, she her pronouns, and currently she's sitting cross-legged in a circle of salt, and chanting. And you see a little colorful hummingbird flying around her antlers.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, what is this chanting like? Is it lyrical? Is it harsh? Is it in some sort of language?
I think Jane's part like maybe like a low intonation, like a kind of noise.
Hmm. Interesting. Who wants to go next?
Well,
Um,
Harry is currently uh a tiny bit taller than Jane Doe. Harry Mycena is a mushroom person. Uh, they use they, them, and they fair pronouns. Uh, and they like to be a bunch of different colors. Currently, they are purple. Um, and they are sitting also in a salt circle. But they are um they're uh playing with a small sliver of bone. Um, and just twiddling it between their fingers a little bit. Well, they also are joining in on chanting.
Yeah, what sort of bone is it, and what does it mean to you?
It is, uh, it's on closer look, it's a piece of talon from their familiar drag, who is a half possum, half sparrow, uh, griffin, who they may or may not have found in the trash.
Hell yeah. Nice. All right, and let's cut to our third witch.
Helen is sitting there intensely. She's chanting, but she's working on the focus. So she's got her athame in hand and is drawing with the blade in a pile of salt, drawing sigils. She is, for all intents and purposes, a normal-looking human. She has a bit of the crazy in her eyes, though, so careful. Uh, she is on her meds this time, so we're good there. And there's a tiny little hedgehog that's she's wearing a lab coat, by the way. And there's a hedgehog who is wearing PPE goggles, poking his tiny little head out from her pocket. She is wearing the blue rubber gloves, but not the goggles.
I'm curious, did Helen make these goggles for her hedgehog herself?
Oh, of course.
Hell yeah. That's incredible.
She modified something
Okay.
she had found for a doll. It works pretty well.
Yeah, gotta have the hedgehog PP.
Yeah.
Of course.
He's going to be in the chemistry. He's got to be safe.
Yeah.
But now let's go more into the reasons for this strange, mysterious ritual. Because our camera pans back out, and you see on the door of this cozy little game store an eviction notice. An eviction notice from one man. His name is Richard Alistair Hobart. And he is an asshole. The last time we were together, we saw him going through showing a group of investors this game store because he wants to turn it into a Starbucks. And we're going to zoom back into the characters with their circle of salt, and in the center of this circle of salt is something to help them channel Richard. What did you guys manage to get from him for the purpose of your spell components?
I would say we were able to get, by going through his trash, we were able to get like some of his hair from his hairbrush. And
Nice.
maybe a piece of paper with like some chucked away piece of paper that has his handwriting on it with his name on it somewhere.
Yeah, I like that. Who did the actual trash digging?
Harry did.
Harry, I
Not
figured.
in always.
Of course.
Harry loves picking through people's trash. That they're real curious about what human sapes are up to, and what life is like for them, because it's very different from how this little guy experiences life.
That's interesting. Yeah. So each of you are going to spend 2 essence for this ritual, so please mark it off. For those of you watching and maybe you are not familiar with this game, essence is a currency you spend to do magic. And you
Like your
feel
mana
the
pool.
energy. Oh, sorry, Rowan, I didn't hear you.
Sorry, like your mana pool, if you're regular.
Yeah, exactly, like a mana pool. Each of them have 10 essence, and if they run out, not great. But okay. And you feel the magic begin to swirl and shift around you like a vortex. And as the world begins to warp and shift, and comprehensible needs to come up with more synonyms, but you find yourself somewhere different. A place you know to be the mind of Richard Alistair Hobart. And I think this is your guys' first time doing this ritual. Or actually, let me ask that to all of you. Is this your first time going into someone else's mind?
It's definitely Harry's first time. And this is extremely eye-opening to them. They didn't know you could do this.
Is this Claudia's first time? Not Claudia. Is this Jane Doe's first time? Jane, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think Jane Doe, within her street urchin gang community, like when she was a kid, she might have seen the elders do something like this, but she herself doesn't have experience.
Huh. And actually, Claudia, Jane, when you saw your elders doing this, how did you feel about this, about breaching someone's most private inner sanctum?
Well, she saw it as, like there's her side and her family, and then there's people who aren't part of that family, and that's kind of fair game to a certain extent.
Hmm. So you would never breach the mind of your family, but if they're not.
No. And especially if they're like an actual enemy, then it's like, yeah, no
True.
holding back there.
Richard, or as we've been calling him, Dick,
Dick.
is definitely an enemy. But I will say, harm you do take in the mental world still carries over as an echo into the physical world. So there is real harm in this if this goes wrong. Helen, how do you feel about the possibility, the threat of real death in what you're doing?
Helen hasn't thought about it in the possible death category. Um, this is it's a venture she's studied. She's aware of it. It's a ritual she has seen before, but she hasn't done it herself. So she's here entirely for the notebook holding, pen carrying scientist part of herself. Um, she hasn't thought, she's all about coulda, not about shoulda. So the ethics isn't an issue with her at all, but she hasn't really thought about the potential consequences yet either.
Hmm, I see. Just going straight in. I respect that. So then now that we're beginning the undertaking, let me roll your engagement dice. And this is sort of how I determine on what footing you're starting this out. So you get one dice by default. I think this is a pretty good plan to get some intel from Dick on like what he's up to. So I'm gonna add a dice for that. He is a tier higher than you, so I'm gonna take away a dice. So you're on one dice. Is there any advantages you guys have over him in this space that I'm missing?
This is our sanctum space. So does that give us a bonus?
True, but you are in his mind, which is his
His
space.
space. Physically, we're in ours, but mentally, we're in
Physically in your
his.
space, but
Yeah.
right now, astrally, you're in his.
I think, since Jane has that tidbit of like what his weakness is, like they already know what to look for in his mind. So they
Yeah, shit, no, that's a really good point. I'm adding a dice for that. And let me roll now. That is a 4 and a 1, so you will be starting at the risky position. So you find yourself, you sort of dissolve, and then you reform. And the first thing you notice when you reform that it is cold, really fucking cold. You look down, and at your feet is sort of barren, cracked, icy ground. And you look up, and you see this enormous wall of ice, stretching as high as you can see, but not forever. And within it is this giant, icy stone door. And as you look around you, you can see what used to be plants, vegetation, growing things, but they've all just been encased in this solid layer of ice as big, fluffy snowflakes sort of whip against your cheeks. Um, Dick's got some problems, it seems like. This is not reflective of a healthy mental state.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
let's see.
And I thought my
But
mental space was bad.
Yikes.
but knowing what you do about mind spaces, people usually keep their innermost things inside walls. So I think your first obstacle is how do you get inside?
Well, let's go up to the door and take a look at it.
Can I like survey and see if we can find like a door or something?
Yeah, well, there is the door I described. It's huge. I think I think Helen, you go a little closer. It's okay. It happens.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I am
You
not
go up
liking
to
this
this.
cold. Bleh.
Yeah, no, it's very uncomfortable. You should have brought a coat. Um, you go up to these giant doors. They seem like castle doors, like a fortress. They're like barred solidly with iron and frozen. Probably it would be very hard to push it open with just brute strength.
Hmm. You guys want to? Anyone have any ideas?
Can I fly Sweet Pea over the wall?
Ooh, that's a great idea. So are you gonna shift?
Um,
Oh, you're flying your familiar over the wall.
yeah, well, I kind of just wanted Sweet Pea to scout it out, and then we could maybe think of what we would do once we know what's behind it.
Okay.
Like,
So you're gathering information with your familiar by using them to scout?
yes.
Okay, I think this is some sort of role. What role do you think it is?
I would think that mm, maybe. Well, don't know how it.
Survey or prowl, maybe?
Yeah, Prowl would be focusing more on the stealth, but I think maybe survey because you're scanning the area like that's your goal.
But if it was Prowl, we could argue that Sweet Pea is being extra stealthy in case there's like, I don't know, Mind Palace security.
True. So which would you
Uh,
like to roll?
I will roll a Prowl.
Okay. I think this is risky standard. Risky because, shit can go wrong here. And
Okay.
standard because what you're doing is going to have a pretty good effect if it succeeds. Are you
Okay.
ready to roll?
Yes, and I have one tick in that, so I just roll one dice.
One dice, unless you'd like to spend willpower or entertain a fate bargain.
I don't think we're there just yet.
Okay.
Okay, a 4.
4. Success with consequences. So your hummingbird, what was their name again?
Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea. Oh, I love they. Sweet Pea flutters high above the wall, and you close your eyes and you merge your senses with them. And it takes a while to get up there, and you feel their wings sort of beginning to feel burn and fatigue. But they reach the top and they look down, and you see behind that giant wall are these sort of it's a maze. And towards the middle, it's very, very dark. Your Sweet Pea can't see through this strange, odd, shifting darkness that takes up the middle. Um, but actually, as Sweet Pea is looking down on this maze, which the walls aren't as high or as thick as this outer wall, um, Sweet Pea sees something down there moving. It's some sort of jagged ice being with sort of glowing eyes. It's sort of roughly humanoid. It walks on two legs, and it holds this sort of ice spear. And it looks up, and you can see it meet eyes with Sweet Pea. And it hurls the ice spear up, and it lodges into the wall just under Sweet Pea as Sweet Pea darts back. But I'm going to start a 6 clock called Alert. And when that fills, um, Richard's mind will kick you all out because he's too paranoid. Like, the defenses.
The defenses are
Yeah,
doing their thing. All right.
exactly. So
Wow,
here is that 6 clock.
beautiful.
High
Well,
tech, y'all.
I
Very nice.
immediately impart that whole layout to Helen and Harry. Like, okay, this is what Sweet Pea saw, and there's a hostility like in there.
An ice creature type thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to study the door itself. Is it wood? Is it metal? Is it frozen? What do the hinges look like? Where's the doorknob?
It is wooden. It is certainly very frozen. Um, oh, Claudia, are you okay?
Yes. My
Okay, I'll let you work that out. It's very frozen. There's sort of a thick metal bar across the center. It's wooden. I think I just said that. If you're going to try to look for vulnerabilities, that might be a roll.
Okay. Um, I know enough about crafting things to also know how to uncraft things. So I am looking for a vulnerability with my crafting ability. That is
Interesting, yeah. I think that is controlled standard.
okay.
This is your area of expertise, and there's not a whole lot of risk in just looking for vulnerability.
All right. So because I'm just verifying because my craft is 2, that means I roll 2 dice, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. Let's see here. 4 and 3.
Ooh, nice. Success with complications. So you're looking very closely at this door, and you notice most of it's frozen over, but if you think that if you chipped away at the ice, you could get the hinges. The problem with that is that if you got the hinges, you'd have to tip it over, and that would be very loud.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I might be able to get the hinges moving, but I wouldn't be able to get it to open on the hinges. I would only be able to undo the hinges.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Is there a way that we could climb this wall?
You can certainly try. Do you have
Okay.
climbing gear?
Mhm. I thought we did. I thought
um,
nope, nope, nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, I don't have climbing gear. I had climbing gear at some point.
Trying to climb this wall with your bare hands would be very difficult. It's not impossible.
Yeah, I'm
Having climbing gear would make it much easier.
yeah, I'm trying to remember what we took as Coven tool.
we
I
have
remember
the
having some
burglary
problems.
stuff.
Oh, yeah, you took burglary tools, which would
Yeah.
be
We took
helpful for
bird.
actually ganging this door. Like,
Oh,
gang the
so
hinges,
let's
I
just
mean.
do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so are you
we have disguise kits and burglary.
Yes.
so are you down for the sort of loud option of taking out the hinges?
Uh, sure.
Claudia?
Wait, wait. So would we use the burglary tools to do that?
Yes, you would be using them to take out the hinges and push the door open, which would be make a loud sound and possibly tick up that alert clock depending on the roll.
Okay.
I'm sorry, like I kind of zoned out while I was trying to fix my camera, but so there's no way to pick this lock?
It's not a lock, it's a very heavy iron bar through the center.
Okay.
Um, hmm. Could we do this as a group action?
I think I would be doing a fortune roll for how loud this is. It would
Okay.
work. It's just how loud,
Okay.
how much alert.
Okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense. All right. Well, we can attempt to do it as quietly as possible.
Yeah.
But we've got our thieves' tools, and one of them's got to be a chisel or something like that to try to get this open.
Hell yeah. All right. So I think you're going to have 2 dice for this that I'm going to roll because you have good tools for it, and you guys are skilled. So let me do
Mhm.
that.
In cat
Ooh.
burglary.
Nice. Perfect.
Ah, there you go.
Oh goodness.
Excellent.
God,
Incredible.
this is gonna be great. So okay, I
It
rolled
really
two
is.
5s. So I think I'm gonna do 1 tick on the alert clock. You guys are pretty good. You have it like almost all the way down when and there's sort of a puff of snow.
Okay.
Is the scary
Nothing
thing
comes
there?
running yet, but you feel like the sound has been heard.
Uh-huh.
There's a
So
hedge maze now, or what kind of maze is? You said that there
it's
was a
an
maze.
ice maze, like a
Oh.
hedge maze, but icy.
Ooh. That's pretty cool.
Before we go in,
Actually,
sorry. Before we go in, I want to see if I can grab some of the vegetation that's covered in ice to take it with us.
yeah, easy
Can
enough.
I send I kind of want to send Dreg up to try and see if we can survey this maze, but if I don't want to alert the big frozen dude further. So
Yeah.
if you all think
I
that
was
that
also
wouldn't be a
gonna
good idea,
suggest
I won't
that.
do it.
I was also going to suggest that Jane, you have Sweet Pea too.
I was afraid a Sweet Pea's gonna get shot down by that ice monster.
I can
True.
send Dreg to do it.
Actually, Jane, how do you feel about Sweet Pea almost getting shot down? Like that was a close fucking call.
Uh, Sweet Pea usually is perched on Jane's antlers. And now Sweet Pea's like inside her like hoodie, like the pockets. So she's a little bit like, oh man, okay, well, if anything, Jane's more on alert because she knows that there's something that could like almost hit a hummingbird out of the sky.
Tiny
So
target.
Good
she's on
point.
extra alert.
Sorry, Harry, you were about to do something?
I was gonna do a survey with Dreg, to try and find a quick way through this maze, if possible.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
So I have 1 pip there. I don't know if I'd get more for anything.
Okay. So if someone was able to help you, they would spend 1 willpower and you get an extra dice. You could also push yourself and spend 2 willpower to get an extra dice. Or entertain the Fey bargain, whereas I make things more complicated and you get an extra dice.
I
Mhm.
can help somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, how are you going to help, Helen?
So you're sending your little dude off to do recon, right?
Yeah.
Um,
You have a tiny scarf for him?
no, but I have
Oh.
the disguise kit.
Like, what
So
disguise the animal?
I'm going to use some of the ice chunks that are on the ground and disguise it to try to make it look like it's made out of ice.
Ooh.
Nice. Alrighty then. Yeah, I think that's an extra dice. Spend 1 willpower,
Nice.
Helen.
Done.
And with help, you can still push yourself or entertain a bargain, but if you want to just roll now, go for it.
I think I'm gonna save it for. I'm assuming things are only gonna get more complicated from here. Oh,
You
I
are
got a
correct.
6 and a 1.
Shit, nice. um, Shit, what was the name? Dank?
Dreg.
Drag.
Greg.
Drag.
Drag.
Dreg.
Dreg. I was like, okay. We see the little disguised possum sparrow Dreg, with little ice chunks stuck to him. We see him skitter forward into the maze, and Harry closes their eyes and connects with their mind. And Dreg is very effective in sort of moving through the maze and finding the quickest possible path into the darkness. And after that, Dreg can only see darkness. So do you call Dreg back at that point, or do you send them further on?
How far did they get?
They're pretty far from you at this point.
I think I'll call them back.
Okay, and at that point, Drake turns back. But yeah, they managed to find a sentinel-free, easy way towards the center of the maze.
Okay.
This is all
I
good
You
relay
guys would
that
like
to the
to
rest of our
take it.
crew.
All right, onwards,
Onwards and upwards.
onwards.
onwards and upwards, and inwards. Yeah, onwards and inwards.
Yeah.
Onwards and
Yeah.
deeper into this man's consciousness.
Yeah, like that old saying goes.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, just
That
everyone's
old
heard it.
saying that everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows
But
it.
yeah, you take Drake's path through, and it is swift and it is true, and I think you narrowly avoid one of the ice sentinels, but you duck behind a wall, and you manage to make it to this great mass of this great orb, I would even say, of darkness. As it goes, and as you step in, you can't see shit. Hot damn. How do you
Uh,
plan to deal with that?
I was wondering, is this something where I could ask like the grimoire sense questions?
Ooh, hell yeah! What's your grimoire sense?
Is there underworld resonance nearby? Or like what's
Ooh,
occurring in my domain? Stuff like that. I don't know.
interesting. Is there underworld? Hmm. So this is not your domain. Let me start with that.
Okay, yeah,
Your
I
domain is the
figured that
game
much.
store, it is your car, and it is your apartment. None of these things really register in his mind.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't care. In terms of underworld, I think you do sense a little bit of underworld here because as like evidenced by the ice and the cold and the frozen plants, this is the death of a psyche. This is the death of what is good in a person.
Mm-hmm.
Not a death per se, but a dying.
Mm-hmm.
Something is fading here.
Uh-huh.
Is that what you were looking for?
Ah, I was just looking for information, so sure.
Rowan, you had. Oh, actually, I should call you by Helen. You had your hand raised.
I was going to do the same thing. What is the resonance of this place of power? You were going to say this.
Resonance.
Yeah.
I think you get very similar information to Harry. This is a human place. This is a place of the mind.
And it is
It
not healthy.
resonates with power in the way that all living things do, but it resonates in a very off-putting way. It resonates in a way that does not feel comfortable or safe or healthy to you.
Hmm.
Actually, out of curiosity, Jane Doe, what's your grimoire sense?
Uh, where would one find that?
It's right
Oh, it
under
should
where
be.
you would have grimoire heritage. It's like right under that line. And the familiar species and like the stuff about your familiar. It's right under that. So then it'll say grimoire sense and grimoire abilities.
Uh-huh.
And then
My
it should have
ability?
like 2 questions.
Oh, okay. In what way is this item, individual, or place obscured or altered?
Oh,
Mm.
Would that
interesting. That
would that
actually
help
be.
with like the blacksness?
In what way is it altered? Yeah. Um, I don't think this darkness around the center of the psyche is natural. Something put it here. Something that's not Richard.
Something that's not
Hmm.
Richard put it here?
Somebody's tampered
Indeed.
here before us. That's pretty
Interesting.
sus. Yeah.
Would would survey speak to that more, like, would looking at it more, like, give us more answers, or
Sure, if you'd like to
would that be
think
more of a
more about,
study thing?
investigate more into this dark, I think survey or study if you'd like to
Okay.
investigate more into this.
I think I'll do survey. And is that gonna be one of those ones where it doesn't, like, matter super much what answers we get here, or?
Yes, I think this is a fortune roll. You're gathering
Uh-huh.
information. Fortune
Okay.
roll, standard.
Okay, so then I'll do 1 dice for that and be fine. Because it's relatively low stakes. I rolled a 6 again. Wow.
Hell
Good golly
yeah!
gosh.
Nice.
Nice. So you
Training
sort
my
of,
dice is working.
yeah, there you go. Well trained dice. Good dice. You scan the snowy ground, carefully looking for clues, and you see footprints. Someone was here before, and the footprints, it looks like boots, but specifically they look like military boots. Specifically, I don't know why you specifically know this, but Red Watch boots.
Like, Harry's had interactions with the Red Watch before. Who hasn't?
Out of
I
character,
said
can you?
Harry's.
Sorry.
Hello?
Oh yeah, it's useful knowledge to know how to recognize their boot prints.
Yeah.
They're pretty.
So, like it could be that somebody specifically went in and blocked off information within his own mind so that he can't see it anymore?
Perhaps.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay.
But that still doesn't answer the question. How are you going to navigate in this darkness?
Um,
I have an idea.
Ooh,
yeah.
Helen, what is it?
I grabbed some twigs and leaves and things. I can start a fire,
But we didn't start the fire.
but I will start the fire.
Okay.
I didn't shoot the sheriff.
But I did shoot the deputy. I'm
All
willing
right.
to craft a fire in this place of snow because before I thought this man is a cold, hard man, and now I'm like this guy is like unnaturally cold and hard. We need to bring some warmth into his world. I had crocheted a tiny little like fluffy kitty doll that I was going to leave in the center of his mind, but at this point I'm thinking he needs more help than this.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So, lighting a fire. Also, it'll help keep us warm.
So make me a craft roll, I think, but this is not if your fire catches. This is how effective in fire in this supernatural darkness.
Fair enough. Oh, that's not good. I rolled a 1 and another
Oh
1,
no.
so I rolled 2 ones.
Double one.
God, 2
Damn.
ones.
Okay, that was a risky roll. So mark off an XP and whatever. So here's the tea. You strike a match or whatever you do to start this fire, and you hold it up. And yes, it is effective in cutting through this darkness. It is a beacon through it, such as sentinels. As you see this sort of great lumbering thing of ice, and now that you're up close, it's about twice the size of Harry, which is saying something since Harry is very tall. And it has this great big jagged ice spear, and it looms over the three, sort of its spear poised to throw. I think you guys have like a second to act before something before impalement. So what do you guys do?
Okay, do you want to ask us in turn, or are we all just gonna?
Well,
Who
it's
goes
really
first?
whoever wants to go first. There's not like an initiative order.
Well,
But
I
if two people
literally,
want to go, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I literally have a power for this called
Yes, let's hear it.
enigmatic. There we go. Form. Cost 1 essence. Shapeshift quickly enough to resist a consequence from detection or security measure, or shapeshift to perform a supernatural feat of athletics or stealth.
Okay, what does this look like?
I think Jane's like she's like, oh, fire, oh, big ice. So in that big ice, when that goes off in her mind, she would just kind of like go, I guess maybe something like a little white mouse or something. You go real
Yeah,
small and go to the edges of whatever they're confined in right now, like whatever part of the maze, like if there's bushes or something. But you said it's
yeah,
ice,
nice.
If it's a
so
Suspend
she's
your
going to
one-on,
credit.
essence.
if it's on a one-on-one kind of fight, would it be a finesse roll?
I think it depends on the way you're fighting. Finesse is for like dueling, gracefulness. Hunt is for long distance, and brawl is for punch.
Uh,
But so
like
you
if
see
I wanted
Claudia.
to, if oh,
Sorry, could I narrate for a second and then we'll
yep,
get to you?
sure.
Yeah, so you see Claudia
Yeah.
just vanish. Sorry, you see Jane Doe just vanish. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to your characters' names. Um, like, what the fuck? Where did she go? Um, actually, Helen and Harry, are you aware of this ability, or how do you feel about her just bailing on you with this giant thing in front of you?
I I think it's the first time that Harry's seen it, but also like Harry's worked with people who do similar things before, so they're a little bit less worried because I don't know, they assume that Jane would only leave them if Jane was sure that like they could take care of themselves because that's just the kind of person that Jane is.
So yeah, Harry's got some trust.
Mhm.
How does Helen feel?
Helen probably barely notices. She's a little focused. What? There
Damn.
were other people
Very
here? She's
Oof.
internally torn between studying this javelin and ice monster and wanting to not getting to know it up close and personal.
Yeah. Harry and Helen, you two are now seemingly alone against this giant ice monster. What's the plan?
So is there a way for me to um like uh use finesse and like jump around onto their back or something and try to like climb them to hurt them, but like in a more stealthy way than like straight up going to try and punch them, which they don't think is gonna work terribly well against this creature that's twice their size.
I think finesse is the right role for climbing
Uh-huh.
this thing. I'm not sure it's the right
Uh-huh.
role for hurting it, but getting
Uh-huh.
up it is a feat. So
Cool, cool,
if
cool.
you'd like to do it, give it a
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna do that. Um,
Okay, this is risky standard.
okay, cool. I think I might spend a couple of willpower to get a second dice for this.
Good idea.
Because this seems like something that it would be nice to have another die for. So we're gonna roll now and hope for the best.
I picture the Dread Pirate Roberts climbing onto the back of Andre the Giant.
Hell yeah.
I
Yeah.
got a 2 and another 6.
Damn,
God
nice.
damn.
So, Harry, actually, do you want to narrate your success?
So what Harry's gonna do is they're gonna like roll underneath the legs of this of this creature, and then just like try then like reach kind of and their arm like lengthens a little bit so that they can like grab up onto like the hip of the monster or something, so that then they can pull themselves up onto it, and then they just keep climbing onto its like shoulders.
Damn. Nice.
And then
That's cool
they're
as
not
fuck.
super sure what they're doing up here, but they're here now.
Ice creature rodeo.
They sure are here now.
They sure are here.
They
And
did
yeah,
that.
I think now the dude's like thrashing around trying to buck you off, but like you're holding on. You're on this thing. Helen, you see this going down. What's your course of action?
Honestly, I'm kind of just wanting to watch and see what happens. I have a grimoire power in my back pocket that I'm holding on to in case the javelin gets thrown. But I'm taking the fire in myself and slowly backing towards the blackness. To like, I want to follow these footprints and see where they went.
Oh, so
But
you're gonna try sneak off?
I am not leaving. I'm just putting a bit of distance between myself and a thrashing giant ice monster.
Which is
Okay.
extremely fair.
Like a 5-foot
Extremely
step.
valid.
Extremely fair.
But I think that is going to need some sort of roll because you're trying to sort of get yourself out of danger here, and you don't know if that thing's going to notice you.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely
What
going
sort
to
of roll
notice me. I'm still holding a torch. So.
Yeah.
There's
So,
no way
but
it's not
what sort of thing are you going to do to get away?
I might. I'm holding a friggin' torch, so I don't exactly. Pardon my French. So I don't exactly think that anything that I could do would be very effective in this, like, actually getting away. I'm not trying to necessarily get away, just disengage, put some space.
Okay.
So maybe finesse just in the whole dodging and weaving, whatever the heck is going on, as I get some space between it and me,
Yeah, no, I'll take that.
outside of arm's reach kind of thing. A 5.
Okay. What does that look like? So the good thing is you successfully disengage. You sort of duck your way around. You duck under an ice spear. You manage to put some space. Um,
I dance my way around this thing.
I think you have two options for your complication.
Okay.
So you could take maybe a good graze, like right to your chest, and take level 2 harm. Or the ice collapses under you as you're trying to duck and weave, and you wind up somewhere else.
Ooh, that sounds like a more interesting option. Sorry.
All right. Is that
I
what you're
hate
going for?
I hate the idea of splitting up the party, but at the same point, that really sounds like it could go some interesting, cool places with the storyline. So I think I'm going to slip and fall
Okay.
in
So
wherever you're
yeah,
saying.
it's slippery. You're trying to like dodge and weave, and you take a step back, and you hear this cracking, this like terrible like it's almost it's almost like bells before the ground gives way underneath you, and you just plummet straight down. Um, Claudia, you see your friend just fucking. What's your reaction to this? Or Jane Doe? Shit.
Well, Jane didn't think that anybody would try to attack that. So Jane's not really looking at what Helen was doing. Jane's looking at Harry riding an ice monster. And so she just like squeaks out like, "Wait, what the?" Um,
Does she have a course of action, or is she going to observe and wait?
I think okay, so Jane is seeing a Harry on top of an ice monster. and a Helen falling in an ice crevice. So Jane is gonna get out of her mouse form. I don't know how this works for like lore and shifting, but technically I have a flying skateboard. Does that just magically stay with me at all times?
Yeah.
Okay, well then Jane is going to jump on her skateboard and she's going to attempt to grab Harry and follow Helen.
Okay. So are you shifting back or are you a mouse on a mini skateboard? Because both of those are
My God,
incredible.
both of those are incredible.
Yeah, well, okay, she'll go on to the skateboard as a mouse, but she'll shift like like when she gets near Harry, because I don't think a mouse would be able to grab Harry.
That's a really
Yeah.
cool visual.
Yeah.
Like shifting in flight.
Yeah, and I think the skateboard gets larger too, like,
Yeah,
because it's
it's
a magic
magical.
item. Of
Yes.
course it shifts
Yeah,
with you.
it can do what it wants.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Harry, are you gonna just let yourself be grabbed? Are you going along with this willingly?
Yeah, because that was mostly just a distraction. So that being completed, this thing is kind of distracted. They might it might be that they tell Dreg to like claw at its eyes or something so that it can't see where they're going. But besides that, they'll just kind of
Well,
they
getting
trusted
Dreg to
Jane.
claw.
They're gonna keep trusting Jane.
Yeah, getting Dreg to claw at its eyes is definitely a roll, and one that puts your familiar in harm's way. Is that something you would like to follow up on?
Yes.
Okay. I think, what sort of roll do you think this is?
Would it be finesse still, or because like
My mind
I
is
don't
going
think
to
it's
brawl.
really?
Because scratching out something's eyes, that seems like brawl to me.
Oh, okay. I don't have any pips in Brawl.
Well, do you want to entertain or push yourself?
Can I offer I give one willpower and Ace gets a dice? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
That would be
So how
very
are you
helpful, yes.
helping, Claudia, Jane Doe?
Okay, well, Jane's flying over there. Let's like go back a little bit, and she has some ice, or like some ice was on the wheels or like on the board, and she grabs the ice and throws it at the ice thing. So just to give Dreg a chance to get in position, and so that
Yeah,
the
nice.
monster doesn't immediately like swipe it out the air. So she's
And
going
then
to
if you
pocket
pushed
sand it.
yourself or entertained it, you could get another dice too. That'd be 2 dice. Or if you have 1 pip, 3 dice.
I think I might entertain a Fey bargain for this.
The Fey bargain is that because of this, Dick gets a weird character trait. You know, you're tromping around in his psyche. This is gonna affect something.
Like the man wasn't already messed up enough.
Absolutely, yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
Take that extra dice.
Fully on board with this.
Going to have a thing for like
Fuck Dick.
weird ASMR.
He's gonna love that fucking ASMR shit.
But
I
the
got
weirdest
2 and a 6
kind.
again, baby!
A 2 and a what?
A 2 and a 6 again, baby!
Hell yeah!
I don't know how I keep doing this!
So you see there's a puff of snow as Jane Doe throws the snow at its eyes, and your familiar uses that cover to launch in and take a big ol' swipe. And whatever the ice thing is sort of stumbles backwards and clutches at its eyes. And your familiar successfully disengages and comes down the hole, but that thing ain't following you. That thing is blind.
Someone in the chat says he's gonna feel like tiny rodents are constantly in his head.
Oh, no. That would be incredible. But let's talk about that after. I'm very
Yeah.
interested in this weird character trait he gets.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah.
So all three of you go hurtling down this hole. It's oddly deep, but when you hit the bottom, it doesn't even hurt at all, which is sort of weird.
And really great for me.
Yeah.
Good for you.
That is.
I'm very
that is
happy
good,
about
yes.
this.
And you find yourself in a cave.
Here, I've got an actual candle. I'll just...
And do you still have the makeshift torch, Helen?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. So Helen, you hold up the torch, and the sort of flickering glow illuminates this weird ice cave sort of thing. But you hear echoes coming from the far end. Oh, you're listening? Okay.
Yeah, I'm totally listening to the echoes.
Yeah. It's a familiar voice, I think, that's coming from within. Someone you've heard before on TV screens. You've seen their picture in the newspaper. You know the voice of this person very familiarly, and not in a good way.
Uh-oh.
Because coming from the far end is the voice of the sovereign Morning Star, the head of the order. And
Huh.
it seems to be one of their speeches, the voice that is coming from beyond. And what it's saying is, we will bring peace and security to this land. We are not children of midnight. We are children of the dawn. We are children of a new day of order. Echoes from beyond.
Ah, lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Nazi propaganda. Joy.
Classy.
Joy.
Love that.
Yeah, love this propaganda.
Very...
But I'm totally going that way, obviously.
Okay.
And me and Jane are with Helen, right? At this point?
Yes, you are all
Cool.
together.
Cool.
I'm wondering.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to Helen like glue.
I'm wondering, do the three of you have any reactions or strong feelings about this speech?
Harry has heard this shit so many times that they just kind of filter it out at this point. They're just like, God damn it, not this guy again. Like, what the fuck? A-cab, baby.
What about you, Jane Doe? And what about you, Helen?
Jane, you first.
Jane is she's a day by day person. So the bigger politics of things is something she keeps in mind, but it's not in the forefront. Forefront is survival, and profit, just that kind of stuff. So she's like, I can't believe, like, why is this so deep in his psyche? This guy's a weirdo, is what she's mostly thinking.
Okay. Helen is much more. How do I put it? The hackles on the back of her neck are raised, kind of thing. She purposely avoids politics stuff. These things are too easily push her buttons, so or can cause her to have an episode, and she avoids things like this. But she also knows that having something like this in someone's mind underneath the top layer means something, and the researcher in her is very much consequences be damned, I have to find out what this is.
All right, so Helen goes forward.
Mm-hmm.
Do Harry and Jane Doe follow?
Harry is definitely following because they're starting to get to know Helen a bit now, and they don't like the look in her eye right now. They're very worried. So
Yeah.
they're gonna stick to her like glue and be like, okay, this is potentially troubling.
Yeah.
What about you, Jane Doe?
Jane is following. She's hovering on her skateboard. Like, the whole reason she went down in a hole was to follow Helen, so she's gonna keep doing that. And be like, okay, I
Yeah.
don't know where we're going, but we're doing something. I'm game.
And you step forward through the cave. It is not a long way, but is a winding way, one that is hard to navigate because you have to sort of crouch through small gaps or clamber over rocks. And eventually you find yourself in this sort of chamber, a memory. And the walls are polished like mirrors. Um, but you can see sort of the fragments of your game store, of the Goblins Den. Um, and Richard walks into it, and you see Redacted, or as their nameplate was, the owner of the store. I think today they were Corey?
You said Jerry, but Corey or Craig
Jerry.
or
Yeah.
Claire, it doesn't matter. They're
Yeah,
just there.
whatever. You see her, and the game store owner, sort of without even thinking, with their back to Dick, just waves, and a bottle sort of flies back up to a shelf where it belongs. And Richard sees it, and he stumbles back. He closes the door behind him, and you can see, just not even in the memory, but sort of a manifestation of his thoughts at the moment. You see the Sovereign Morning Star place their hand on his shoulder, and you hear sort of the motto echo through his mind: "Witch out of line, time to bind." So I think we're going to add a new clock to your long-term clocks. It is a 4 clock, and it is Richard reports your game store to the Red Watch.
I am not happy about that at
Okay.
all. You said
Is
that
there
Sorry, go ahead.
is there a way that we can I don't know that this is at all possible, but is there a way we can scrub that from his brain? Just straight up make him not know this anymore.
I
Can
think
we put a
it's
big black
risky.
cloud on it?
You have a chance of destroying some part of him forever. I think you could try.
Acceptable
It
losses.
depends on how much do you value his well-being over your own safety.
If he's going to hurt our dear friend Claire, like, no, not allowed. Harry is ready to throw hands and destroy this man completely if it means that Claire will be okay.
Where you want to say, Helen?
What is you said the room looks like mirrors. Are we reflected in the mirrors?
No, he fully does not recognize you as
So,
people worthy of his empathy and time.
fair enough. Can I set fire to these mirrors?
You can. Again, this could do permanent psychological harm to him. It would be erasing this place of his mind, but if it goes wrong, he will be hurt. Is this an action you wish to pursue?
Can I give a suggestion?
Yes, please.
Go for it.
Before, in my head, all of us Coven members, like, you guys are brainstorming out loud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, if we see this manifestation of his thoughts, if this is something tangible, why don't we burn that specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking this specific thought, not the whole dang room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But if
I
that
didn't know
gets out of
how far
control,
we were going.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm not burning down this man's entire brain, but like this specific thought, like I would prefer if he didn't know.
Yeah.
this asshole can have like a couple of holes in his memory if I have to have a ton for no good reason.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's not like holes in his memories, it's holes in his how he thinks, which is better.
So I'm curious if there's a way for me to specifically just erase the fact that he saw the magic be done.
Yes, you would probably be destroying that specific instance, but there's the possibility of destabilization, that this is the pillar of something. And so the roll you make would determine how cleanly you are able to erase the memory.
How about
I'll spend 1 willpower to help with this.
Oh,
well,
I'm totally good with
you
that
guys
too.
want to do a group action if you're collectively trying to?
I think so.
Yeah.
Are you guys?
Okay,
let's keep
I have
not
one more
magic.
question.
remembering how that works again.
So basically, a group action works is you guys choose a leader. The person doesn't have to be good at it, but basically you all roll. We take the highest of everyone who rolls, and whoever fails, if they fail, the leader takes a point of willpower.
Okay. My other question was, can I erase the sovereign placing their hand upon his shoulder and saying that horrid line instead of the rest
Yes,
of it?
I assume that was part of the memory.
Okay, so if I'm erasing the memory, I erase the whole thing, not just pieces of it, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
It is not a clean process.
Gotcha. All right. Because I was wondering if I could just cut this one piece out, then maybe it'll be okay to leave the rest of the memory intact. But yeah, it's an all or nothing when it comes to the memory. Gotcha.
So who is going to lead?
I think Helen should lead this one. If that, unless you're not comfortable.
I'm good with leading it. I was thinking of using my greater telekinesis because it manipulates with both strength and dexterity to figure out how to disassemble this. Use the telekinesis to disassemble this memory.
That sounds
Oh,
like a good.
interesting. Yeah.
In
So
that
I
case, would
think
it still be a group action or?
if you guys are helping with it, I think it would.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I would
And I
still
think
have
since
to.
it's telekinesis, I'm leaning towards focus. How do you guys feel about that?
I can roll focus.
Yeah.
Jane,
And
focus good with you?
Yes.
And I'm going to have to spend. It looks like I spend an essence to use that ability. I'm rolling focus for it.
All right,
And I'm
Jane
spending
and
a
Harry,
willpower.
please roll as well.
I'm just gonna roll the one for the pip that I have. I rolled a 2.
I got a 4.
I also
This
rolled a
one's rolls
4
4s.
and another 4.
Okay, success with complications. And I'm really sorry. I should have given you position and effect beforehand. This is a desperate roll.
Okay.
Is that something we still want to go forward? Because I'm willing to cut it here and not do it if you don't like it being desperate. Or you could try to push yourselves to get a better position.
Yeah, I would have Oh, I have another fake contract, don't I?
Yeah.
I would have thought about doing another fake contract if I had known it was
Okay.
desperate. But
Yeah,
I
sorry,
don't.
I should have. Do you want me to propose that now and you can roll another dice if you like it?
Sure.
Okay. The Fey bargain. I made some notes. Let me see if I have. The Fey bargain is that this magical resonance also echoes through his mind, and we're going to tick up the alert clock one more.
And that'll bring it up to 3 out of 6.
That'll bring it up to 2 out of 6.
Oh. I thought. Okay. Oh, right.
It's in your favor.
Yeah. God, Comp, you just want me to do all the Fey bargains today, don't you? 'Cause I'm going for it.
Hell yeah. Let me take in that other thing. Roll for it.
6.
Oh shit, nice. Okay, that saved you guys, because 4 would have been bad.
Okay, and then I'll take off another
Complications
Fey
with...
bargain, a Fey contract.
Yeah.
So yeah, Helen, you feel the power flow through you as you use your telekinesis to sort of deftly begin to scrub this memory. And at one point, you feel it sort of begin to jitter and echo outside your control. Harry, how do you help to soothe that?
I think, uh, that Harry is gonna sing a little, like, haunting melody, that kind of, like, speaks to the underworld, 'cause, like, this is a place where the underworld has a hold. So kind of, like, sings, like, these haunting, like, chords that just, like, resonate and, like, level out the resonance of the magic, sort of.
Yeah. And you feel the jittering begin to stabilize as Harry begins to sing this weird song. And you see just first it's the Sovereign, then it's Claire or Gary or whatever his name is. And then the game store just begins to crumble and fall away in this place. And you're left in this mirrored ice cave. And when you look in the mirror, Helen, you see the faintest shadow of yourself reflected back.
I can live with that. All right.
But you guys have done it. There's a way forward, there's a way back.
Do we know where those footsteps went?
The footsteps continued in the labyrinth
Above.
upstairs. They do not continue downstairs.
Yeah, because we fell down into a hole.
Yeah.
Because Rowan was trying to follow the footsteps, but instead the ground cracked out beneath.
If you want to get back up, you do have someone who can fly.
We have 2 people who can fly, technically.
No. Can't
I mean,
fly.
Well, I was thinking of your
the
familiar.
can
Sorry,
fly.
your
No,
familiar.
I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about Jane Doe's magic
Oh.
skateboard, which is
Okay.
rad as fuck.
Yeah, the rad as fuck magic skateboard. Which, can that fit all 3 of us on it?
No, you probably have to take turns, but
yeah, a fairy system.
Let's at least check to make sure the ice demon monster thing is gone first.
Yeah.
yeah, that's easy enough. You just sort of look up there. It's gone. It lumbered off.
Okay. Excellent. All right.
So we want to go back upstairs, or is nothing else to? Wouldn't this like be closer to the heart of things if we're underneath
Yeah.
the surface?
I mean, it could be a pretty easy shortcut through that labyrinth, and you wouldn't have to deal with sentinels.
Yeah.
All right. All those in
Because
favor of going
we're
forward
just
down
going
here?
to, like, the center of this place, right?
Yeah.
So then,
I-
yeah, let's just keep trotting through this dude's memories.
All
Yeah,
right.
let's
Okay.
like mentally mark down like the way we came, and then when we come back up, maybe we can follow that thread. But
I'm
I think
drawing a
maybe we
map.
should move forward
Okay.
Yeah.
for just like getting to the center and accomplishing our goal.
And you guys move to the center. You go through this labyrinth of caves, and you see many branching paths, potentially with more memories. But you walk past a lot of his sort of buried, repressed memories. And you see him as a kid asking his mom why he can't be a witch, because he wants to be a witch, because witches are so cool.
Aww.
But that scene fades. Um, you walk past him, sort of grown up, going into college, economics, um, perhaps a little happier, a little brighter eyed. Um, but eventually you come to a spiral staircase leading up, and just from how far you've walked, you have the feeling that this is the center. This is it.
This has got to be it.
Upstairs is this has got to be it.
Right.
Okay.
Are
You guys ready for
are
this?
you all ready?
We'll find out when we're put to the
Yeah.
test.
We will see, won't we?
Yes, we shall.
We sure will know then, won't we? Mm-hmm.
One way or
Can
another.
I-
Let's do the thing.
Can I ask that we disguise ourselves as ice? Put our disguise kits?
We do have our
So we
disguise
can
kit.
sneak in there?
Ice on ourselves.
Like
I
chuck
mean,
some snow on us. Roll around in the ice chips.
yeah, like an ice ghillie suit.
Just roll
Yeah,
around
okay, I'm for
in
that.
the snow. Like that isn't gonna melt right off of us.
It probably
Yeah, but
isn't
it's our
comfortable.
disguise kit, so it's like fake cotton.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that scans. That
Yeah.
seems right to
Yeah.
me.
I mean,
All right.
I just don't
So
want to be
you
faced by another ice monster.
Yeah, so you sort of throw on the sort of cotton balls, the whatever. I think I'm not sure it's probably not the best disguise, but you know what? Thumbs
A for
up.
effort.
A for effort. It'll probably let you maybe attempt to like sway the ice monsters or pretend to pass yourself up as something
I
different.
know,
Or
this
like,
is fine, guys. This is fine. We're
Harry,
supposed to be here.
Harry, you can change your color, correct?
Yeah, now they're like an icy blue.
There you go.
and so
I'm
yeah,
not gonna
now
bother.
everyone
I'm
makes their
carrying
way
a
up the
torch.
staircase.
Yeah.
So you climb your way up this long, winding staircase. Your calves are burning, even though it's the mind world. Your body still sort of obeys the same rules.
Mine especially.
Yeah.
Does Harry's legs burn less than the other two?
Does Harry's learn burn less than the other two?
Maybe. They do a lot of walking.
How
I'm
fit
on
is
a
Jane Doe?
I'm on a skateboard, so my legs are fine. I've just been hovering.
Jane's cheating.
Jane's not cheating. This is her whole thing, okay? You let her have a magical skateboard. That's on you.
Well,
If
that's
the
on
tool's
Gavin because it's
available.
a general power. So okay. So you make your way up this long winding set of stairs. And eventually hmm, eventually it opens up to the side of what appears to be a throne room. These it's sort of almost cathedral-like with these beautiful bright stained glass going all along the walls. Um, but it's shattered in some places from the sheer cold. Um, you're coming up on the side, and sort of in the center are two thrones, and on these two thrones are two people. They both seem to be made completely of ice. One is Richard, and he has this great big crown, and he's carrying a scepter, and he looks regal, like he has authority, like he's in control. Um, and next to him is this icy woman with sort of long, spiky, tendril like hair, and sort of a serene smile. Um, they don't seem to have noticed you at the moment as you come up. Oh, and behind them is sort of a mechanism. It's made out of metal, it hangs in the center, and it culminates in this spear. Um, and you have the feeling it's some sort of furnace, but it's empty right now. No warmth comes from it.
Say the warmth of human compassion. because he certainly
Hmm.
doesn't have any.
Perhaps if
warmth
we
of
were
your
to get a
torch.
little more literal.
Can we recognize the woman?
How have you ever seen an image of his past lover? You know,
I
the
don't-
witch.
I don't know. This is the first we're seeing her, right?
Jane is the
Actually,
one.
Jane,
who
you were the one
Yeah,
who knew
I
about
think-
her, right?
Yeah, just like whoever she got that tidbit of information about, like what his weakness was, like they said it was their name, and then Jane was like, okay, I'm hearing you, and then she looked up that person. And
What
like,
is
whatever,
her name?
Putting names on the spot.
You made her up. She's your responsibility now.
Oh no. Okay, she's a witch. Okay. Damn. What is the name of one of the witches from Hocus Pocus?
Winifred.
Okay, Winifred. Magic.
Okay.
Magic is Winifred's last name?
I'm open to suggestions, but it's going to be magic unless I get a suggestion.
Magica
Sola.
Dispel.
Huh?
Magica Dispel. She's the witch from the Scrooge McDuck. DuckTales.
Dispel?
Yeah.
So-
Magica Dispel.
Okay, yes.
How
yes.
about so Magica Dispel?
Well, like Winifred
Well, how
Dispel
about
then.
Winifred
Winifred
Dispel?
Yeah,
Dispel.
Winifred Dispel. That way it's not copyright infringement.
Yeah,
It's
there
a
we go.
This is
totally
not-
unique
This is
name.
completely different. We
Yeah.
did not pull this from anything.
That's it. Unique, original. Winifred Dispel.
There
We
you
love
go.
her.
Yep, this is
Winifred
a
Dispel.
normal person name.
Winifred Dispel.
You know, like your down the stairs neighbor.
Mhm.
Well,
Winifred
often
Dispel.
actually, witches choose their own names. So I wonder what sort of significance it had to her.
She
Maybe she
really
really
loved
liked
Hocus
duck face.
Pocus, obviously.
Yeah.
But anyways, you guys are taking in this scene. What do you want to do?
Can I like are they looking at anything in particular, or are they just like staring straight forward?
I think they're both staring straight forward at the large set of double doors at the other end of this place.
Uh-huh. And are they like, do they seem to be like in the moment, or is it just like statues that are shaped like people, or like memories?
Right, they aren't moving. They don't have breath. So yeah, right
Okay.
now they're just stock still, like
Okay. I have a weird question. What do fae fruits do again?
so. Fey fruits are sort of a witch term of currency. One fey fruit is equal to about $10,000. They can be eaten to cure nearly all diseases, and if you have enough of them, your lifespan is prolonged.
Because you become a witch.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Is the underworld resonance here stronger than it was at the Black Orb place, or less strong, or what?
Yes, you are at the source of the decay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Ace, before Harry does anything crazy.
Harry's
Let's-
not gonna do anything crazy. Harry's just information gathering.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to put out a suggestion of Jane is ready like she's ready to fly Helen up to that hearse or what's up there?
A furnace.
That furnace with the torch. But
You read my mind. I'm so
because they've been literally been trying to burn something all game,
happy.
and I just want to get them there.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. I have another question, Comp.
Yes.
So I have the grimoire ability Speak to the Dead. Do they look like corpses?
Unfortunately, they are not corpses. They're made
Okay.
of solid ice, nothing underneath that.
Okay, cool. Okay. Okay,
But
good
that
to
would
know.
have been
Good to know.
cool.
It would have been cool. It would have been really cool. But I guess not. How unfortunate. I shall never
Damn.
survive.
How could your game master do this to you?
How could
I-
my game master do this to
There
me?
probably
I have so
plenty.
many questions, and none of them are being answered because I don't have the right tools to answer them. Extremely rude.
Well, you'll probably have plenty of opportunities to talk to corpses throughout later, I'm sure.
But I wanted to talk to corpses now.
But then they're not corpses, though.
Is there anything else going on in this room besides like the broken glass and shit?
Not
Would
that
I
I
have
can
to?
think of, but I think
Okay.
Helen and Claudia were planning to do something.
Okay, cool. I'll let them go then.
Sorry, was that my
Okay.
evil laugh?
Yes, Helen, but
Sorry.
uh,
Can you get me up to the furnace? I don't necessarily want to just chuck this into the furnace. I want to like get a look at it and see if like is it out of fuel? Why is it not burning? Like what do I need to do to fix it?
okay, no problem, Helen. I got
Let me
you.
fix it.
We can fly up there. You can set fire to things like I know you like to do, and we'll warm his heart.
Yes.
Anyways, let's go.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess I make room so that Helen can get on the skateboard.
I'm totally grabbing on for dear life because I have no idea
Yeah.
how skateboards work.
Well,
I
it's a
think
magical skateboard, so
That'll help.
I think
But I'm still
Harry
gonna.
is probably gonna. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go for it.
Harry's probably gonna sit and watch the two people to make sure that they're not like paying attention to what their two friends are doing.
Got it. Yeah, Jane, could you make some sort of roll to get you and Helen up there safely? I'm thinking maybe prowl or finesse, but I'm open to other ideas.
well, out of those two options, I'm pretty sure prow sounds pretty good for no particular reason. Well, just like with Sweet Pea, they're like Jane's not showboating. She's not doing the tricks to like psych Helen out or anything like she would usually do. This is just we got a goal. We're going there.
Mhm.
So I got one dice, which you kept getting 4. So come on, let's get a 6 on this dice. 5, better than a 4.
Okay. So, the good thing is, you two successfully get up there. It's a little wobbly with Helen on it, but you manage to get up there. Oh shit, I forgot to do position and effect. Risky standard, is that okay?
Yeah.
Please, next time I'm telling you to roll something, yell at me to tell you the position and effect. God damn it.
We'll get it
Okay.
eventually.
Yeah, one day we'll yell at you. Otherwise, we don't wanna.
That would rely on me remembering that about position and effect, but I'll try to remember too.
Like, just
But
please tell
for
us if it's
mine's
desperate. Everything's risky.
minds is better than 1 for remembering things. But anyways, the complication in this situation is that I'm going to tick up the alert clock 2 more. So you're now at 4 out of 6. As you see the figures begin to move. And you can see the woman, she sort of cranes her head around towards the source of the magical energy. And she meets your two's gaze and begins to stand up. Harry, would you like to react to protect your friends
Yeah,
in
I
this
would.
instance?
I most definitely would. I'm going to run at her.
Okay. What's
Go
the
get her,
plan?
Ray.
Are you just
No
fist
plan.
flying or
Just running.
Oh my goodness.
just running?
Just running.
God, I
Maybe
love
getting a little
Harry.
bit like taller and bulkier. Just running mostly though.
So what sort of role is just
Just running.
what sort of role is that?
I don't think it's a roll. I don't know what I can do.
Well, you're definitely putting yourself in danger here. Let me
Yeah.
tell you that. So
Yeah, definitely.
I could okay, I could
It's
see
not
a
a
couple
prowl.
different things. If you're going it's not a prowl.
It's definitely not
If-
that.
Maybe a
So
spring?
if you're just going with fists flying, I could see this as a brawl. If you
I
are
don't-
looking to take any harm that your friends might be taking, you could do a protect action. But that would
Yeah,
mean inevitable
think-
harm. Okay.
I think protect might fit best what I'm trying to do here. Because I am in fact trying to distract her from. I can't hear you if you're saying things. Okay, never mind. I am losing. And by that I mean I'm looking at the stream and not. Anyway, I think I'm trying to protect my friends here.
Okay. So you will be taking the protect actions. If your friends make a bad roll, you will take the harm instead of them.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So
There's
let's
things I
cut
can do
back
with
to
harm.
let's cut back to Claudia and Helen. We see you wobbling in front of the furnace, and Helen, you're peering in, and the interior seems to be like coated solid with ice. It's empty.
Is it big enough for me to stand in?
Yes.
I'm just gonna get right off of the skateboard and get down in this thing, and I'm not gonna like light anything because there's no fuel to light if it's completely coated in ice. But let's see if I can, like, are there gears? Is there like a coal chute? What kind of furnace are we talking about here?
Make me some sort of roll to figure that out.
Okay. I'm going to say it's a crafting roll because I would know how things work. And I got a 6 and a 2.
Hell yeah, nice. So you look around here, what sort of, and you see sort of the edge is shiny around one part. You can sort of deduce that this was once filled with oil.
Okay.
That was lit ablaze like a sort of a giant torch.
Okay.
You're thinking that to get it relit, you would need much more than the little torch that you have in your hand.
Probably. Also, is there any other source of oil? Like, is there any oil around or anything like that? Like, Like, I'm under the impression that this thing is so frozen solid, I could set my torch on the ground and it wouldn't even melt the ice.
Yes. I'm
Okay.
trying to think about whether there's oil there. I can't think of a reason they would keep oil in the throne room, but I can think that maybe perhaps elsewhere in this fortress there might be oil.
Okay.
If you can tell me a reason why you think you would have oil, you could perhaps do a flashback to maybe finding oil. Ooh, do you want to do a flashback to finding oil someplace else?
Hmm. When we were wandering through all of those memories, whatever memory made him think of this furnace to begin with would have probably a source of oil that we could use.
Yeah, where was it? How far away is it?
It would have to be pretty far back, like close to mid-childhood. I'm thinking
Okay.
like, there was a point when he thought witches were cool and he, like, watched He-Man and had the little Skeletor, like, play set and all of those things. So there would be a time when he would have maybe even gotten into some role play type stuff and done some LARPing and things like that. But that time is long gone.
Yeah, so the memories of his happier, more compassionate days are your oil.
Yes.
Okay. So you know where to find fuel for this. The problem is it's a long way away. So I think that's a one willpower flashback. So mark one willpower, please.
Will do.
And I assume you share this information with the group?
Yes. If you want to go get it and leave me here, I can chisel at this for a while. Or
Okay.
I can come with.
Um, maybe for speed's sake, you stay in here. Harry's down there. I go get the oil, bring it back, and we light this bad boy on fire.
Here, use this. I'm gonna grab like some paper wad or anything like that to like soak up some of the oil.
Okay.
Oh, here, my sweater. It's woolly. It'll hold it.
Okay, sounds good. I don't want to yell down to Harry because me and Helen did see the statue move its head, so we
Yes.
know it's starting to get some life.
Yeah.
You probably also saw Harry start to charge towards it,
Mm,
As Harry does.
as Harry has now proven that they do.
okay, well since we don't have our telepathy, I'm gonna send Sweet Pea to Harry and tell Harry like I'll be right back. Don't die.
I'll try not to.
And I'm gonna hunker down in the furnace, hopefully where they can't see me, and with my thief's tool chisel that we mentioned we had earlier, chink chink chink, chink 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 chink. Trying to do it quietly, but also trying to break up some of this ice. Can I use
Okay.
my mending ability, or would that have to be later once I get the oil?
I think your mending ability could start to work here.
Okay.
Could you tell me what that does?
It fixes simple parts of an object without any tools or materials if no parts are missing. But if parts are missing, I can replace up to 25% of missing materials. So I was thinking of using it
Yeah.
to get the gear working pieces of this, like figure out how to get the ice off of it so that whatever fuel base is in here will have access to. Am I making English?
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Well enough.
So I think I'm gonna have each of you make a roll for this going down. So Harry, I'm interested in, I believe, as like the hair of this figure sort of flares out into these icy javelins. I'm interested in how you manage to fend it off to get your time for your friends.
I think it's gonna be in part, Harry's gonna do like that stretchy arm thing again and just like try and hold on to them. But also like they're gonna send Dreg to also try and like catch some of them or like deflect some of them or just like something to keep it from hitting Helen.
Yeah. So I think this is desperate because this is a rather strong thing. It's not,
Yeah.
yeah. But this
Yeah.
is, I think you will have a good effect against it. I think what you're trying to do is effective, so I think that's
Uh-huh.
desperate standard.
Uh-huh. And would
What
that
sort of,
be Would that be finesse?
Yeah, you're not trying to hurt it. You're just trying to
Yeah.
hold it off. I think
I'm
finesse
just
works.
yeah. Cool. Cool. I think I'm going to spend 2 willpower to get a second die for this.
Good shit.
Because this is extremely important. Because Harry really likes Helen. Helen's real fun. So here we go, 2 dice. Let's hope for another 6. God damn it.
Oh no.
2 and a 1!
Oh.
So I get 1 XP at
Okay.
least.
Harry, I'm going to give you a choice.
Okay.
You are either going to take level 3 harm, which is going to leave you very wounded and not even able to walk. Or I could tick up the last 2 ticks on the alert clock and all 3 of you are ejected. So are you going to gravely injure yourself to buy your friends time? Or are you going to get yourself all out of there?
I think I'm gonna take the harm.
Okay. Do you want to
I
roll
am
to
close
resist
enough
to bring
to
it down to level
I'm
2?
close enough to touch her, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Are you interested in rolling to resist?
Yes.
Okay. I think this is a prowess resist. So roll with the number next to your prowess.
2, I think.
Yep, roll 2 dice.
It is 2. Yeah, because I failed that roll, I would be getting a 3rd. But that's not until the end, right?
Right.
What do you mean?
You get an
I'd
XP.
I'd be checking off the last box in my XP for prowess, and then
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Okay, if you were putting it in a new thing, in a new dot in a new skill, you don't have dots, and you would get, but that's later. We'll do that later.
Yeah, okay.
2.
Cool. So 2 dice. 2 and a 3.
Okay. So you are going to take 3 points of willpower. As you see this ice tendril hurtling towards you, you sort of throw yourself to the side, but it leaves sort of a long gash across your chest hurts like a bitch, and that's going to be level 2 harm.
Okay, so I have level 2 harm.
Probably called like gashed.
Mm-hmm.
And then it spends 3 willpower?
Yes, the resist brought
Okay.
it down from level 3 harm to level 2 harm.
Okay, cool. I need to be careful with my willpower, don't I?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a party. Woo, baby.
Well, welcome to Children of Midnight.
So, I have a grimoire power called Siphon Life.
What does that do?
I'm not sure this is alive. It's an animated. Actually, no. I think you could siphon the animating energy from it.
Yeah. So it's touched to channel harm you suffer to the target while healing your harm. So if I spend 1 essence, I can give a level 2 harm and heal my level 2 harm.
Nice.
So
okay. Just tell me what's like as it happens.
So like So Harry kind of takes the like the tip of one of the javelins to their chest. Like twist with it so that it doesn't like swing off and go hit Helen anyway. And then they reach forward and they just like grab the side of the frozen lady's face and then like push push the pain into her.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see your wound sort of close up as I imagine sort of like mushrooms are growing over it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
you
so then
place
like
your hand.
yeah.
Sorry, no,
Multicolored
you're
yeah. Then multicolored mushrooms spring out of the gash and cover it over and like weave together to form like solid skin again. They're gonna have to get a new shirt, but they'll survive.
Yeah, and you grab onto her like her cheek, and you see the mushrooms spring out and sort of burrow, and the ice there just falls off. It takes a big chunk out of her. That's level 2 harm.
Yep, level 2
That's
harm.
a fucking lot.
It
I think
really
she's
is.
very, very hurt. Okay. Let's cut to Helen. Helen, you're up there, crouched in this thing. You're sort of chipping away at it. I'm interested in seeing you make a prowl roll to keep the attention off you. Is this something you're interested in?
Yeah, I really don't want anyone to know I'm here.
Okay.
Very much want to be quiet, and
Go
I'm
for it. Make that roll.
definitely spending 2 willpower so I at least get 1 dice.
Okay, this is risky standard.
Risky standard. Standard meaning I pretty much fail or don't fail or succeed.
Yes.
Okay.
Normal chances of success.
All right.
Or if you do succeed, it'll be good.
4.
4. Okay, so I think you managed to stay low and hunkered for the majority of the time. But towards the very end, as the jaw falls off, it's sort of, you hear a clang on the outside as it begins to shake. So no immediate consequences, but I think Helen's role will not Helen's. I think how fast Jane Doe can get the oil will determine your fate, Helen.
Lovely.
So,
Go, Jane, go.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
Jane, go.
Go,
But what's
Jane
your
Racer.
role for just
I think this would be a
how?
spring.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah,
As you're sort of.
I'm leaping into action. As it says explicitly in the manual, but so I think it's a spring. Jane's just gonna try to haul ass. So I already have a tip in
Go
there, so I
for
get 2
it.
dice. Oh, no.
Oh,
Now I'm also gonna
risky
push myself.
standard.
Yes.
Go for it.
So I'm gonna use 2 willpower and I'll get 3 dice. Now if I don't get
Nice.
something good with 3 dice, I'll be upset.
Think what I would be.
Okay. That was almost bad. 2, 4, and 6.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you haul that fucking ass. Like, I sort of imagine like Jane taking tight corners, like doing, I don't know, wheelies on rails.
Yeah.
Wait, grinding on rails. You don't do
Yeah,
wheelies on
grinding.
rails.
I mean, I could be doing one, but
That stuff where you've got one hand on the board and your feet are on the board and the other hand's like way out in the side. As you're
yeah.
like skating up a wall or something.
Ooh. And you find that memory real quick, and you haul it on back to the furnace where you see the ice lady. Her javelin is stuck in the side of the furnace, and Helen's like holding on for dear life as it's wobbling. What's the plan? What are you guys doing?
Well,
A
I'm
plan?
using the sweater to like soak it up with the oil.
So you've now got a drippy sweater.
Yeah, I just like ball it up and go back. and deliver it to Helen so she can light it on fire, and then
Fire.
I guess I'll have to be on standby because otherwise how are you going to get down?
Leap to my potential, hopefully not death.
I think I'll stay on standby, so that's what Jane's going to do.
Okay. So Helen, you reach in there, you take the oily, balled up sweater, sort of that reeks of hope and joy, and I am going to make a fortune roll for how well this takes. You have
And
2 dice. This is a good chance. You guys have done good ass shit. Like, if there's anything that's gonna succeed, it's gonna be this. Okay?
I'm also using my
Y'all
mending
ready?
power to try to my mending general power to attempt to help with that.
Nice. I will add a 3rd dice for that.
I'm gonna keep on protecting in case
All right.
the lady goes for them again.
Let's see what happens. Okay. So I got 2 5s and a 4. So here's what I think happens. You place the balled up sweater in the brazier, and it takes and it catches, and you see the ice begin to drip and melt. And actually, Helen, you have to sort of leap out to Claudia as it gets hot, like hotter than anything you've ever felt, which is hard because you're a scientist, and you work with hot stuff, I guess.
I occasionally explode things.
You occasionally explode things, exactly.
Only occasionally?
I try to keep it
As this
occasionally.
furnace
Uh-huh.
lights up to like almost a miniature sun as it grows, and you can see the ice begin to melt off. Outside, through the shattered stained glass, you can see plants begin to spring up, flowers even. Roses and daisies and camellias begin to snake up the walls. But as the sun grows, suddenly it falters and flickers. It's not healthy yet, it's not complete, but what you've done is you've given it a start. You've brought back something that wasn't there before, and it's up to Dick how that goes.
Goodbye, astral sweater.
But I think this is the end of the undertaking,
I
unless
have
there's something else you guys would like to do here.
I have one more thing I want to do.
Shoot.
As we're like, I'm assuming there's a thing we would have to do, like hold hands or say something so that we're all going to depart here. I don't know what we need to do to end the spell. But as we're exiting, I take the tiny little stuffy, fluffy kitty that thing that I made, and I like chuck it onto the lap of um, the frozen Richard.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and I think the
Oh.
frozen Richard is like half melted. I think that's your calling card.
Oh yeah.
Our
For the
calling card is just an adorable little plushie.
Oh, and shit. Rowan, by the way, Gavin has asked that we turn up the audio levels a little.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Thank you. But yeah, I think exiting is much simpler compared to getting in. Since a lot of the walls are sort of half melting, and plus you've got Jane Doe with her awesome flying skateboard to shoom. Actually, I don't know why you didn't fly over the first wall, but you know what?
Well, I thought about it, but I didn't want to get hit by a javelin.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
yeah,
probably
that's a
why,
very valid
honestly.
concern. But yeah, that is the end of our undertaking.
Yeah, so I think
Let's.
the way that we end this is we all grab hands and we go, yeet!
And we yeet
And then we
ourselves back
buzz
into
out
reality.
of this guy's brain.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, let's see. What needs to happen? Who of you is going to draw down the moon? I remember Harry did it last time.
Yes.
I would like to do it this time if at all possible.
Go for it.
Hell yeah.
Okay. I picture when we come out and we land back into our bodies, we're all now very exhausted. Sit and like collapsed in this circle of salt. And so we have to mess the salt so that it's not gonna like be used. But I'm like scraping some of it into a jar. And my apartment is on the top floor of this apartment building. So we'll just haul up to the top floor if you guys are up for it. And we can do the ritual at my place.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, we get there, and my apartment is like a studio, and there's a lot of south-facing windows, but you can't see out of them because there's plants covering them all. And I have a inlaid copper circle in the floor, in the middle of the floor. I'm going to take the salt that we grabbed from below and sprinkle it on the copper in a circle to connect the two rituals. And then proceed to do the whole thing with like the athame and the book and the bell and, speaking the words of power and calling the 4 watchtowers of the apocalypse and all of that stuff.
Yeah, and I love it. Harry makes soup. Helen does like
Harry's like, here guys, have some soup. And that's calling down the moon.
Well, it's so different, and I love that. That's so cool. But so Helen, you are going to roll the lowest of your willpower, prowess, insight, or resolve.
Okay, that's my prowess, so that's going to be a 1.
Okay, 1 dice.
Phew. And can I spend a willpower to get a second dice in this particular ritual? Or does it cost essence? What? I don't remember. We've only done this ritual once
Don't
before.
think you can push yourself on that one. That's a good question. I'll ask after, but right now the answer is no.
Okay. Then I'm just rolling the 1. 3.
3. Okay. Everyone is going to regain 1 willpower and 2 essence. But also, you all get like 10 hours of sleep after this, right?
Yes. I think we're going to
Uh-huh.
have
So you will
a sleepover at my place. There's pillows, there's popcorn. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
we
All right.
finished that heist in a timely manner, so there's plenty of time to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm loading up the sheet, but do you remember if it was 1 or 2 willpower you regained from that?
I believe it was, oh, hold on, it moved on mine. I believe it was just 1.
Feel like it was
Okay.
just 1 at the moment.
So yeah, so everyone regains 2 willpower and 2 essence in total.
Okay. 2 willpower and 2 essence.
Yep, and now we're going to move to downtime. I will put the downtime actions in our channel, but I know you can't see that, Rowan, so good luck.
Thanks.
Cool.
One of them has to be the telepathy thing, correct? Telepathic bond.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that's 1 essence from everyone. I looked it up.
Okay. Yes, cool. Yeah.
So who is going to do the telepathic bond downtime?
I can do it.
Alrighty, okay. What does that look like for you, Jane?
Oh, what did I say it was last time? Because I'm pretty sure I did it last time too. I think Jane just her signature, touch her fingers to her forehead and go and then she does that to, she touches their foreheads too. It goes until it's activated.
Nice. Yeah. It is activated. Everyone spend 1 essence. The power of the is with you.
So I want to regain some willpower because
What
I
does that
still
look
have
like for you?
5. That's so many.
Damn.
That's so scary. I did not realize that the resist roll would cost 3. I didn't think about that, especially
Yeah, the
because
resist roll causes 6 minus what you roll. So if you had rolled
yeah,
a 1, you would have had
yeah,
5.
I'm not gonna do that about harm again because I
Level
can just
3 harm's a
turn the
big
harm
fucking deal, so I
back
think you
to
made the
people.
right choice.
No, but I could just spend 2 essence and then have made that lady fucking die.
Fair enough.
Like, yikes. But anyway, cool. Now I know, and I won't do that ever again. But yeah, so to regain willpower, I think Harry's gonna go and talk to their oldest friend, who is, of course, uh, uh, Rod, the game shop owner.
Hell yeah. So where are you going to go talk to Ray about?
I said Rod, but that's fine. Um,
Well, her name changes a lot.
yeah, their name does
Well,
change.
we can stick with Rod for now.
Yeah. So um, I think they're, I think Harry's gonna just be like, "Hey, I brought you some coffee. Do you mind talking to me about something that just happened?" Because Harry's kind of uh very upfront about things with the people that they care about. So, yeah, they literally just walk up to Rod and they go, "Hey, Rod, um, I need to talk. Things are
Yeah.
not good in my brain right now."
And they're like, yeah, hey Hesta, of course, I'm always willing to talk.
hmm So they'll sit down uh with Rod and talk through like all the different situations that like their friends got put into, their new friends that they care so much about. And like they've lost friends before. Like bad things have happened and it's sucked and like it's not the first time that a friend has been put in danger. But yeah. So it was very difficult for them to like see their friends in those dangerous situations and so they like were talking about like why they kept putting themselves in danger to try and help their friends. And like it was effective, but like they know that that's not super the healthiest reaction to things. Um, so that's why they were talking to Rod about it.
Yeah, and I think Rod's a very good listener. They make you like a cup of tea, um, and yeah, they're good to talk to. So you are going to roll the lower of your resolve or insight rating.
I think they're both 2.
Okay, roll 2.
3 and a 2.
Oh shit.
God, my rolls were so good at the beginning of this.
But we needed them to
So
be, so
you are going to regain 1 willpower, and there is a complication.
Okay.
What do you think the complication is?
Um,
I'm trying to think of something too. And anyone else is free to pitch in suggestions. Like,
you were talking to
think
him about how everyone else was, how you're afraid of losing them. So I
what?
think you were talking to the redacted about how you were afraid of losing your coven mates. So I
Yeah.
think it would have to revolve around that relationship.
Yeah, I don't know if Harry's actually going to talk about how some of the willpower that they spent was to protect Zir. Uh, I don't know if they're going to say anything about that because they know that they wouldn't be the happiest about knowing that they had risked themselves just to protect them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it might come out like later on, and that's part of the complication is that like
Yeah,
Rod's like, hey,
how
what do
about I
you
start a
mean
clock,
you didn't?
which is Redacted finds out about what you guys are doing to protect her shop.
Well, like I mean more specifically the fact that like Harry's in a state here because they didn't because they were like so protective of Rod that they weren't gonna put Rod in they weren't gonna let Rod be anywhere close to danger.
Yeah.
And I think that Rod really doesn't like when people do stuff like that for them.
Yeah, so maybe Rod sort of reads you and figures that out.
Yeah, so it could be a clock or it could be just like they press a little bit further and then it comes out.
Yeah, I think they're going to press and it comes out. And I'm going to have to think about how this will affect your relationship, but I'll get back to you on that. Is that good?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Nice. Who wants to go next?
Rowan, your turn.
My turn? Okay. I'm going to have to go off of my memory of what happened before. What my
I can read
options were.
out the list of downtime activities to you if you want.
I want to increase my essence. What do I need to do that?
Yeah, they have Restore Essence, where you connect to a place of power to restore your spiritual battery.
Okay. All right. Then I think Helen is going to go to the Science Museum in New York. The one that shows how humanity moved from fossil fuels to our current wind and solar technology, and just careful not to get too close to the displays because I don't want to accidentally destroy something that runs off of electricity because that's not what I'm here to do. But just, look at things like the hydro displays. And I'm assuming this is one of those museums that has like the interactive things that you can play with. Like OMSI here has the Oregon Science Museum of Industry or something like that. Has amazing things that you can play with that are not electric at all, but they're like learning about wind and water and all that fun stuff. I'm assuming she's going to spend a ridiculous amount of time in there just getting back into what makes her her and reminding her that those things aren't as important as these things. Does that make English?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so let's see what you need to roll for that. Restore Essence. Okay, you are going to roll Focus.
My focus, which is 1, 5.
Oh, nice. Okay, 5. You are going to regain 2 essence.
Excellent. I feel much better.
Okay. Jane Doe, what's your second downtime action?
Okay, for my second downtime action, I would like to. I guess I should have been thinking about this.
We could cut to someone else while you're thinking.
Does somebody else have something ready?
I do want to resolve the thing with Dick.
What does resolving it look like to you?
Well, like I just meant like finishing out like what weird quirk he's gonna have now that my Fae bargain went through.
Yeah, what weird quirk do you think he picks up?
I think the combination of that and like the stuff that we saw in the past of him being a major nerd and then also like the new like furnace that we kind of built in him again, I think he's gonna get hit with like a lot of nostalgia for those things that like he used to like really, really love and he kind of burned out of himself or froze out of himself as it were. But I think a new love for that is gonna kind of break in a little bit. And I don't know that like and it's gonna seem really weird to the people who like know him. But yeah.
Yeah. I think you see him around your game store like once or twice. Like he's going through the books, like maybe he even plays a game of what did we name the game that you guys play?
Was it like wyverns and something? That one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one. Wyverns
Wyverns and
and
something?
caverns or something.
Yeah.
Wyverns and Caverns.
Wyverns
Thank
and
you. Yeah.
caverns, yeah.
You even see him in a game of Wyverns and
Yeah,
Caverns.
and
And
maybe
actually,
like
let me
maybe he like looks over Harry's shoulder as Harry's like sitting in the living room with all of their LARP shit out on the table. And he just like peeks over and then like if somebody looks at him when he's doing that, he just like gets all like big chested again and is like, "No, it's fine, guys. I'm here just to
These
measure the
fake
walls
actors aren't cool at
and
all.
yeah. That 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 flame doesn't look sick as hell. I don't know what you're
um
talking about."
so I'm gonna roll a dice for him for if he advances his agenda this downtime. So this dice, this first dice, is for if he has the will to advance his agenda, because you stead a flame in him.
Yeah, we
So a
did.
higher roll means he does have the will, a lower roll means he does not.
Fuck
Oh
your
shit,
dick.
that's a 6.
God
So
damn
he
it.
pushes through it. He's gonna Oh fuck.
What a dick.
He is tier 1, so
That's
let
That's
me
really
roll
literally
for
his name.
that.
Yeah, it is.
Oh shit, another 6. So he is going to advance his clock by 3 ticks, which means is now at 4 out of 6 for him taking over your game store. Yeah, no, the transactions are going down. Like you see him in his office like signing some papers and like meeting with a Starbucks representative. Um
We need to get more drastic.
Yeah.
but
Oh.
you're almost there. You know, he just needs a little more push.
Uh-huh. Oh, if I filled out the XP for the prowess, can I just put a tick in to spring?
Hell yeah.
And is that not counted as one of my downtime activities?
No, that's just
Okay,
automatic.
cool.
Jane, are you ready?
Yeah. I'm
Nice.
just gonna go ahead and do a training
Nice. Where are you
for,
training in?
well, I mean, you know that it's gotta be resolve because I'm gonna
Hell
get more
yeah.
sway. So she's gonna
So,
continue reading her book
How to make
of
friends and influence people?
yes, how to make friends and influence people. She's gonna, keep reading that.
and I think it's hard to learn how to sway people without talking to actual people. Do you find some new people to meet?
Um, does she practice manipulation on new people, you ask?
Oh?
Uh, because the sway is for the people who are not her friends.
True.
So maybe she tries to see if she can get like she goes to like this is New York, so they have like like maybe like she'll go to like Chinatown or something and go to like an open market and she's working on her haggling with like the
Nice. Yeah.
shopkeepers.
That's
Alrighty.
great.
That's nice. That's your 2 downtime actions. If you want another one, you can spend 1 fray fruit for 1 downtime action. Um. Okay, Helen or Harry? What about you guys for your second action?
I'm.
Uh,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
nope, you can go. I was
I
thinking.
I'm going to continue to train in my prowess. Um, by I'm now setting a goal of getting 10,000 steps a day.
Oh, nice.
So, because she's like, okay, I occasionally eat a vegetable now. I have a vegetable every day. Now I need to walk more. So, yeah, she's working on. She realizes that, the mind is housed in a body, and the body has to be able to function in order for the mind to be able to do the things she wants to do with it. So, let's, work that out, as it were.
And
Hell yeah.
anytime she comes through the game store, Harry will just like have snacks on hand that are like fruits and vegetables or like nuts that are like, as long as like everybody doesn't have nut allergies, like stuff like that. Just like,
I can
more healthy things just to like help Helen with her goals of
I can totally see Helen like taking a carrot from Harry and like dead eyes staring them in the eye. Eating the carrot.
and then Harry just looks over and goes,
I both loathe and love you
Nice.
right now. How
but yeah.
What's your last downtime action, Harry?
I think um Harry might uh go to Robert Avis and try to get a meeting with Rose the One.
Ooh.
Um yeah.
But what's the goal here?
So kind of they had been a part of Rara Avis a while back. And they know that right now they're a little bit too isolated and they're not taking the best care of themselves. So they're trying to like build out a support system again.
Hmm.
So
So would this be a long-term project, build a support system?
yeah, I think a long-term project for build a support system would be what this is starting.
Okay, so
Um,
maybe let's call that 6 ticks.
okay.
Okay.
Did I have
So
another
yeah,
long-term project going?
if you look in the long-term
I should have
project
asked that
slide,
first.
You wanted
I
to be
should...
friends with the janitor.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, the janitor.
well, being friends with the janitor would be building out your support system if you want to
Yeah.
replace that.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
I think that's probably better. Is then it's more generalized. But yeah,
So do you want to take the tick for the janitor and we'll add that to your support system? Or was it 2
yes, please.
ticks? Well, 1 tick, I think, because he was sort of creeped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was only one tick because the way that Harry was trying to become friends was just waiting outside of his place of work until they followed him home to his place of residence and discovered that he was like a single dad and shit. And I don't feel like that's necessarily the best way to make friends and influence people, but
To stalk them? Yeah, not usually. No.
yeah, no.
So what
Harry
does it
is
look like
fine.
between Harry and Rose?
So um I think Harry will show up with some hot chocolate in a thermos. Um in true Harry fashion of trying to feed people to make them love them. Um not make, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It helps. It greases the wheels as it were. Um so yeah, I think Harry brings her a thermos of like raspberry flavored um hot chocolate and like gives it to her and like sits down and maybe even talks a little bit more with Combi and is like and starts like telling stories about like um some of the like dangers present in the outside world to like kind of help Combi um be prepared or like be better prepared for when he starts going out on missions and stuff for Rara Avis. So just like, trying to get on Rose's good side by like being nice to her and her kid.
Yeah. I think when you get there, Rose is there and she's teaching a class for the youngins of Rara Avis, the budding greens. Um, so she's teaching them like how to appreciate nature, like what different types of plants are. Um, and Combi is a little old for her class, but he absolutely like eats up your stories. Um,
I
and he
think, and
seems a little freaked out, but not too freaked. The right amount of freaked out. But what sort of role? I feel like this is maybe a consort role.
oh no.
Well, she's your friend, right?
Uh, she doesn't remember that, or like she doesn't know them with the space. So,
True.
plus like the way that things had ended with their, it was less than perfect. So I don't know, honestly. Um,
It's your choice. I
but
think
also
so. I that's a valid argument for Sway.
I have no pips for Sway and I have no pips for Consort, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Pick one and go for it.
Ah, but I
Or is there something else you'd like to use?
um it may be craft.
How would it be craft?
Like the hot chocolate and then like the telling the stories that they like have experienced. I don't
Unfortunately, if you are
that
trying to woo someone, you do need to make some sort of social role. That's
uh
sort of Weasley. My
Harry's,
apologies.
you're right. You're right. You're right. It's I'm yeah. You're right. I decided to go for spring instead of sway first. Damn it. But yeah,
You have
sure.
more time.
We'll do consort. I don't know how to roll that with no dice though.
You do 2 dice and take the lower.
Okay, cool. Um, cool.
Maybe you
We'll
get
see
two
how this
sixes.
goes. God damn, I hope so. A 5 and a 1!
Ooh.
Oh, what
So
was the oh, sorry. What was like the location, desperate whatnot position?
this is
Because
a
it just
fortune roll.
okay,
This
cool,
is a
cool, cool,
fortune
cool,
roll
cool.
standard effect. So we are
Cool,
going
cool,
to
cool, cool,
pick
cool.
one more side. And tell me what goes wrong about your evening.
I think um I think in part Harry makes the outside world sound a little bit too exciting. And then Rose is not the happiest with them as a result. Because like Rose is like, come on, you're not supposed to make this sound like an adventure again, because that's what got Combi in trouble in the first place. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, she's not too happy with this. Like she appreciates the hot chocolate. She appreciates who came over, but maybe work on your stories a bit, Harry.
Yeah.
And
I'll try.
I believe that is downtime.
Hmm.
Cool, yeah.
Um,
Um,
real
Let's
quick.
move in. Oh, sorry.
Uh, so everybody's did their two. So if I spend what is it? A fey fruit? Um, is there like a way I can slow down Dick's progress?
Ooh, yes. How do you work against it?
I was thinking, hear me out, that if I did a perform a service tending to the local fair community needs, that one of the services would be like getting a petition like against gentrification of the local area.
So I
And
think that. Oh, sorry.
or well, I was just gonna say like that's like bad press for like any like business people that be like, oh no, we're gonna get the social medias saying how bad we are. We might want to avoid that. We got other opportunities.
Yeah. So I think I'm not sure that would be perform service, but I think you could make a roll of
Okay.
some sort, and depending on how good that roll goes, will decrease his progress a bit
Okay.
as you get the social medias involved.
Yes.
Those sweet
You know,
social medias involved.
some social medias are the things that
I
all the
think
kids are
the
raving about.
biggest one right now is called the Shop Web. It's a subsidiary of Shop Hub. And you can't access it directly, but I think through Redacted or Rod, as we were last calling them, and Claire, um, that you could
Ray.
access it. What
Okay.
sort of role do you think this is?
I think that this would be something like sorry, I'm getting the little thing that says what the roles are like targeted towards.
My mind is going to sway.
Okay.
Um, but I
I
could
could do
also see
that.
craft for like word craft.
I think Sway, so she's getting other like this is not like a one person job, so she's getting like other people to help her out with
Yeah.
making some type of online presence. Well, obviously because she can't use the internet, so she has to convince somebody to help her.
Go for it.
Okay, so I got one dice in that. Okay, dice, don't let me down. Ugh, kind of let me down. I got a 4.
Oof. Damn. Okay. Um, let's see. We were at 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to reduce 2. So now that is at 2 out of 6 ticks. So yeah, I think your petition gains a good deal of traction. You know, I'm guessing you talk about what the game store means to the community, like why this is so important, and it circulated. I think it gets like 300, 400 signatures. Um, Pretty sizable amount, and I think it does set the plans back a bit. All right, XP time.
Yes, please.
Sure.
Hell yeah. Um, I think I'm going to do your crew XP and reputation off screen. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Who wants to go first?
Bueller.
Oh.
Bueller. No one. Yeah. Okay. I'll do it. Anybody? Anybody?
Go for it.
I got 1 for rolling a 1 on a risky thing, and that automatically
Well, you
went.
don't need to announce that, just for your
Okay.
questions.
All right. I feel I used my aspect of the magician because we were literally transforming the insides of this person. And
Yes, absolutely.
I also think that I was very much impulsive in, yeah, I'm gonna, light a fire in a place full of ice, and this isn't gonna go bad at all. Um, and getting the sacrificing the sweater to get the fire relit. So I think that I landed in the impulsive magician section well.
Yeah, 2 XP.
All right,
Good work.
thank you.
Cool. Are you done, Rowan?
Yeah, I didn't
Oh, there's
use any of my tech, so I can't get anything that way.
Okay.
And I didn't experience trauma or harm.
Okay, cool.
So.
I can go next. So I think I could argue that I addressed a tough challenge with underworld knowledge. Maybe even several times. Because I know I was definitely paying a lot more attention to that this time. And it did, like, it had an impact on how I was responding to situations.
Well, you used drag too, so
Yeah.
you got one from that. Like no
Huh?
matter what, you used your familiar.
I don't think I get an XP every time I use my familiar. I think that was just because it was wisdom in that situation in the last game where it instead of bringing myself out of hiding in front of the place where they bind witches, I sent my familiar out to fuck shit up instead.
You don't think it was assistance though that it distracted the ice monster?
I think your shifter keys might be different than
Yeah.
Harry's Baba
Yeah,
keys.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my two things are addressed a tough challenge with wisdom and addressed a tough challenge with underworld knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like in part also like I was doing wisdom because like I knew that I had the siphon life power and when I went to protect my friends and so I was like, yeah, no, if I take damage, I can do damage as opposed to just like letting my friend get hurt for no reason. But I don't know.
Nice. What about the other two categories?
So I think I didn't struggle with issues from trauma, casting style, or consequences of harm because I took harm and then instantly gave it back. But I do feel like my disposition is nurturing, and I feel like a, there was a couple of situations in which I like put myself in harm's way to protect the people around me, and I don't I think that that kind of fits within the nurturing category, but
Yeah.
cool.
And sorry, I meant the other two questions, not the other two, like disposition or. I think. Actually, I would need to look at the questions. I'm sorry, one
What?
second.
No,
Never
oh,
mind, keep
okay.
going.
So one line is the tough challenge with wisdom or underworld knowledge. The next line
I
is
see.
express
I
your
understand.
heritage, disposition, aspect, or beliefs. And then the third line is struggled with issues from your trauma, casting style, or consequences of harm.
Yes, okay. That makes
So I
sense.
feel like I got 4 XP from that because I did multiple instances of each of 2 rows, but
Yeah,
cool.
nice. What about you,
Gonna
Jane?
start putting points into consort or sway.
Hell yeah.
Oh baby, gotta get good at talking to people.
I'm right there with you. Uh, okay. So adjust a tough challenge. So mine is what many forms are familiar assistance. So I didn't shapeshift. Oh no, I did. Um, I turned into a mouse, and then
Yeah, you
I
did.
had Sweet Pea help. So 2
That's
for
2
that one.
XP.
hmm Expressed your heritage, disposition, aspect, or beliefs. Adaptable. I would argue that I was at least adaptable in at least one scenario, but
Yep.
probably more.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I would
Um,
agree.
my Wheel of Fortune. So like in the manual, it says Wheel of Fortune is associated with karma. I think that this would changing somebody's like heart is changing their fortune.
Yeah, no, I agree. 100%.
I feel like I'm not wording that right, but I your agreeing
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
me think that you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any trauma or any issues from any of that stuff, so none for that. But that should be 4x.
Nice. And I think that's it. Damn. Good, technically second session, but for a stream session, guys.
Mhm.
Woohoo!
And anyone watching, thanks so much. Like, it really means the world. I mean, cliche as it is, but it is.
Yeah.
Helen, could you take us off the air?
Yeah, I will. Thank you all, everyone, and y'all have a good rest of your night.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye.